Um, the selection is from this copy of Bodhidharma's The Zen Teaching of Bodhidharma, translated by Red Pine, who I'm sure was fun at parties. Um, you know the edition because it's got the picture of Bodhidharma on the front with his eyes all goggly. He's the cat that cut his eyelids off because he got sick of falling asleep when he was staring at his wall for 9 years in a temple, in a cave, up near a temple near the Shaolin Monastery, ever so long ago. Um, I'm reading from page 57 of Old Bodhidharma. When you understand, reality depends on you. When you don't understand, you depend on reality. When reality depends on you, that which isn't real becomes real. When you depend on reality, that which is real becomes false. When you depend on reality, everything is false. When reality depends on you, everything is true. So let's put that Bessie up on the blocks. What he's talking about, when you understand, reality depends on you. Okay? When you understand, reality depends on you. What that has to do with is this thing called existential vectors. Excuse me. Yeah, existential vectors, I guess you could call them. See, there are comers and there are goers. In the Occident, here in the West, we are comers. In the Orient, in the East, they are goers. Okay? What I mean by that is here in the West, we have a different cognitive structure than they do in the East. This is Spenglerian in a way. It explains the central fundamental schism between the East and the West. That we indeed see the world completely differently. We see the world oppositely. See, the philosophical base of the West is that the world exists, that matter exists independently of our senses. It exists independently of our senses. There is a separation, a distinction between subject and object. Okay? The world exists, we exist in relation to it. Therefore, when we are experiencing the world here in the West, reality is coming at us. It exists first. It will exist after we're gone. It existed before we were here. In reality, events come at us here in the West. In the East, there is nothing in the basic fundamental. There's nothing in basic fundamental philosophical principles here in the West that would say otherwise. Okay. See, in the East, they are goers. That is to say, reality, instead of existing independently of their senses, they are projecting reality. Okay, this is the unconscious, basic, fundamental philosophical underpinning of the East. That they are that a human being projects the reality around him. Okay, therefore I call him a goer because reality seems to be going out of him as opposed to coming at him. Okay, so that's the distinction I make between coming and going. Here in the West, we are comers. In the East, they are goers. So with that in mind, when you when you understand reality depends on you. So let's put that Bessie up on the blocks. When you understand reality depends on you. When you understand this concept, which is the superior concept, that we are projecting the reality around us, and I'll get to that in later videos. If you take that as the central premise, and dude, if some quantum physicist was here, he's not gonna raise an eyebrow at me, man. He's not gonna cause a ruckus if I say stuff like this. So when you understand that you're projecting reality, that means reality, in order for it to exist, it depends on you. Its existence depends on you. So that's what Bodhidharma meant by that. The next line is, I think it goes, when you don't understand, you depend on reality. Let's see. When you don't understand, you depend on reality. Basically, everyone you see around you, right? Always at the mercy of what's coming next, right? At the mercy of the universe. Think about the authentic Schopenhauerian pessimism. Okay, read if you ever want to get a good taste of what a miserable, fucked up experience this is here in this as a organic creature on the space-time continuum. Read old Arthur Schopenhauer's On the Suffering of the World. That'll do it. So just have a look around you at all the drama, right? Those who are depending on reality as opposed to reality depending on them. Let's think about what Lin Chi said, old Zen Master Lin Chi. He said, play the host, not the guest. Play the host, not the guest. Wherever you stand, let that be the where the host stands, right? When playing the host means that being cognizant one moment to the next that you are projecting reality as opposed to experiencing reality passively. You are actively projecting reality as opposed to passively experiencing reality. Okay? That's what's meant by playing the host, not the guest. All these people you see around you, okay, unsure of themselves. They haven't built their house on a rock like Christ said. They haven't built their house on a rock. They built their house on sand, right? Right? So those are the ones that depend on reality. Condemned to living a life of ups and downs. That's what depending on reality is. Living a life of ups and downs. Okay? When reality depends on you, that which isn't real becomes real. See, the Occidental view that reality exists independent of our senses. The Occidental view is an illusion about the nature of an illusion. The Occidental illusion being that reality is real, the Oriental truth being reality is an illusion. Say that fast 3 times, and I'll give you a coupon book featuring bargains in your area. So, when reality depends on you, that which isn't real becomes real. That is to say, the true illusion becomes manifest. Okay, I call it the true illusion or the solid mirage. What we're living in right now, whatever this is, I call it the solid mirage. Okay, because let me put it this way: it doesn't exist outside my senses, right? It doesn't exist independent of me, right? But yet, nevertheless, when I get up to go to the restroom at 2:47 in the morning and I stub my toe on my guitar amp, I howl with pain. It's a true illusion. It's a solid mirage, right? So when reality depends on you, that which isn't real becomes real, okay? The chaos of existence is condensed, centralized, consolidated down to the shape of the world around, what I call the consolidated eye. Think about this. Think about the consolidated eye. Like, look around. When I'm looking around, I see the world in the shape of a large eye. It's kind of oval. It has a border, okay, all along the periphery, right? It's the consolidation of our two eyes. It's the consolidated eye. That's what I call it. What comprises the consolidated eye? The circumambulance. What I see in front of me. It looks big. Let's say I'm at the Grand Canyon. I say, man, that's a big place, man. This is huge. No, man. Actually, it's about this big. Do it yourself. The circumambulance. I'm doing it right here. This is all I can see. This is the circumambulance. The Grand Canyon's about that big. Right? That's the circumambulance. So, when reality depends on you, that which isn't real becomes real. That is to say, it manifests itself in the circumambulance. Okay? And to play the host, one should always play the host. See, when you have achieved the oriental vector and practice being a goer 1 second to the next, understanding that you're projecting consciousness or projecting the matter around you. And dude, this isn't special. Okay, this isn't like, oh, I'm the only person in the universe. No, that's bullshit. Everybody's doing it. I call it everyday solipsism, commonplace solipsism. Okay, it says in the sutras, when mind appears, reality appears, the world appears. When mind disappears, the world disappears. Okay. See, the thing is, this thing I call the circumambulance, okay, this thing I call the circumambulance is the only thing I will ever know. It is the only thing I will ever know. And outside of it, nothing exists. It's like fucking, who said it? I think it was Lin Chi again. He said, just have faith in this thing operating in you right now, outside of which nothing exists. This thing operating in you right now, this lantern that you're shining your awareness on, right? Just trust this thing operating in you right now, outside of which nothing exists, okay? Outside of the show me something outside of your circumambulance. You'll only know your circumambulance. It's the only thing you'll ever know. This cone, this consolidated eye in the shape of the human eye is the only thing you ever know. To practice being a goer 1 second to the next, understanding that reality is going out of me as opposed to coming at me. Once you have achieved, time to take a break.